pleasant good night to everybody. I am elated to be there. I'm happy to be part of this party. I am happy to give my full support. Honorable Vince, I want to apologize. I was not there for the by-election, but I'm so happy to be here this time. Let me call our people from Tetmon. Are you there? Yes, I can see them. Tetmon, Gaza, and all the little Picodo and all the little hole. I can see them. Montine, are you there? Powell, are you here? Powell and Howard, Powell and Ba, are you there? Powell. Ugly, are you there in the house, Ugly? Grand Coulibaly, are you there? Let me hear you, Grand Coulibaly. Lale, are we there? La we there, yeah, that is back straight.
Shall not be.
Mabouche, are you there? Are you in the house, Mabouche? Highland, are you there? People from Highland. Geneva House, Eskizolo. Polam, are we there? Palapak, are you there? Palapak, are you there? Felicite, are you there? And here am I from Center. Where are we, Center? Yes, we there. That is the Grand Bay constituency. I want to welcome all of you to this paradise, this sweet community, Grand Bay. I want to say to you, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm happy to be there with you. Let me say to you, this election is no joke. This election is no joke. I think some of us take it for granted and we're taking it lightly. I think this is an election we have to send a clear message. A clear message to opposition. Whether independent, whether half dependent, whether, I'm not sure, totally dependent, but we have to send a clear message. A clear message to any opposing force of the Dominica Labour Party. We need to send a clear message in the region and in the international community that Labour still the party of choice in Dominica. We can only send that clear message one way. One way we can send that clear message. It is good to come out here and to scream and shout, but the clear message can only be sent out on the night of the 6th of December. And the night of the 6th of December, we want to make sure that Honorable Vince Henderson has surpassed his number of last election. We want to make sure that we go out and vote. We want to make sure that we go out very early and vote so that we can pass and pick up all those that are missing by 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock. And then we put our little champagne on the fridge and we are waiting patiently for our victory because we know it is certain by God's grace. But my dear people, you know, one of the things, sometimes I feel a little despondent. Sometimes I feel a little despondent. And I'm speaking there to all laborites across the country. All of us here and all of us listening. The reason being, I am not sure if we said labor is the only choice. It's not the choice for now, it's the only choice. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting a little, I don't know if it's emotional, but I pray not. But let us look at Dominica over the past few years, people of Dominica. Let us look at what has happened in this country, where we were and where we are right now. I will not call them out. Let us just look well at housing. Let us look at our road infrastructure. Let us look at all the various developments, water, name it. I cannot name. It's just too many. But I just want us to sit down and think. Think of all the social programs this Labour Party has put in place. All of the programs and policies of this party that has touched every life in Dominica. No man, and I dare say, the person standing out there or out of Grand Bay who can tell me that the work of the Labour Party has not touched their life, tell them I say to face me. And I have an answer for them. Tell them to face me. Because this Labour Party has touched red, yellow, blue, pink, purple, every man jack in one way or another. Every man jack. And when you want to tell me, and let me tell you that, we are in an economic world, I'm not sure how to describe it. The economic situation across the world is not easy and it is not nice. And so do not think that Dominica is immune to that. It is not nice across the world. Everywhere in the world, people are bawling because of economic pressure. Not just Dominica. Yet amidst all of that, the Labour Party administration is trying their very best to make sure that we can keep our people afloat. And yet still, some people are still questioning what has Labour done. Labour has not touched me. And the person, one thing I say, I want to remind you of 1 Thessalonians 5:16. Read it when you go home. The Lord has asked us to be thankful in everything. Be thankful in everything. As small as it may be, say thank you. And even when it does not look too good, say thank you, because He has a better plan for you. Some of us are too ungrateful. We are just too ungrateful. I'm sorry to say it. I cannot find better words to say it than to say that. But I say to you, be very careful. God does not like ugly. That's how we say it. God does not like ugly. And I said to the people of Dominica, and I want to remind us, even in Grand Bay, Honorable Vincent Desson has been there for just a little above 1 year. Just a little above 1 year. I spent 10 years. 10 years. And so I know within those 10 years, what I did, the money did not come from my pocket. It did not come from me personally. It is the Dominica Labour Party that made it available for the development. I was a servant of the Dominica Labour Party working for the people of Grand Bay. So let us not forget. Let us not forget how our road network was. Yes, some work was done before, but a lot of work was done on roads in Grand Bay during my 10 years. Bodio, Tetmon, Pigodo, Mob, Grand Bay, Highland, Mopo, everywhere we touched. We touched. Housing, just name it. Small business, all the programs, all the social programs. We benefited from in this constituency. So let me tell all you, when I move around, and sometimes it hurts to see and to hear some things the minority will say. And I am saying to you all, be very careful, for ungratefulness will have its reward. Ungratefulness will have its reward. Across the Dominica, I'm sending the message. And I want to say to us, let us make sure that on the 6th of December, we go out. And we are not going out alone, because we are not the only ones benefiting. We are going to take our children. We are going to take our mothers. We are going to take our fathers. We are going to take our cousins, our sister, our nene, and our power, because we know the impact the Dominican Labour Party has had on their lives. So we are going to pull all of them to come out and vote. Because I tell you, we are still lucky. And let me tell you that this God, we must not take him for granted. This God does things in such a way. You all are lucky that Dominica Labour Party will continue its program, because we do not have an opposition. And I do not want anybody to blame the Honorable Prime Minister and the government of Dominica for what is happening. When you see the workers and the opposition speak to you, tell them to point their fingers on their leaders. They are lazy leaders. They are lazy leaders when they did not have a ministry to take care of. They're not taking care of the constituents that vote for them. They are sitting, walking around Roseau, and say they're walking around Roseau for peace. It has no rebound on them. Tell them, be very careful. Be very careful with their evil ways, for prayer and God is greater than them. Tell them, be careful. They thought when they did it, it was going to go through. But it has no rebound on them. And it has disintegrated the party to their death. To their death. I'm not sure they can ever rise again. They have disappointed their own supporters. They have disappointed their own supporters. And that is why a lot of their supporters are now coming on board to meet Labour, because that is the only serious and sure party in Dominica.
It's my PM family. Labour still the best choice. You can talk and make your noise. Labour still the best choice.
Let me say to you, I do not want to be any longer. But let me say to you, Honorable Vince Henderson, I want to stand and endorse him. I remembered when they were selecting Honorable Vince as our candidate, I was called. And I thought, at the time, I knew what was happening in Grand Bay very well. And I thought this was the best thing that we could have done. Yes, because we knew what was happening in Grand Bay. And all we need, when you vote Honorable Henderson, we need to have you to work with him and not against him. Work with him, for him, not against him. Honorable Vince Henderson could have been out somewhere else, still as an ambassador, because we know the Dominica Labour Party takes care of its people. But he chose to come, and he chose to come and represent us. And let me tell you that Grand Bay is not new to him. I remembered when I was living, just there I was living, right? And Vince would come up, have discussions with my husband. In every meetings they were there, discussing politics, discussing how to develop Grand Bay and Dominica by extension. So Grand Bay was not new to him. And we know he have relatives there. We're not going back there. Okay? And we know that Vince has the ability. He has the capability. He is intelligent. He is clear on what he wants for the constituency. All we need to do is to give him the chance. I think we are expecting too much in too short space of time. That is what is happening. And let me say to you all, I always say, if the Labour Party did not have to touch the individual lives, and we must be careful, I think we would have seen greater infrastructural development. And it's because the Labour Party is interested in individual development. That is why sometimes we have to set some things at the back. Be very careful what we say and what we do. All I want to encourage us to do is on the day of the 6th of December. I'm sorry, I will be running this ground on Tuesday like a hawk. I will be running this ground like a hawk. And just prepare to see me in front all those. Because I know what has happened in Grand Bay. Probably some may go and hide. I know. So I will be looking for you. And as Fathead D, Fathead has something saying, I love this boy. Fathead has something saying, Super Hale cannot paga de pulo. I love that. I love that. Scratch my back and I will scratch your back. We must not be ungrateful. And so I want to encourage us on the 6th of December, go out and vote. Go out early. Vote for the issue. And one of the things I want you to do, the final thing, make sure you take your time and make your cross. If you have somebody who is trembling, they can decide to ask them to allow you to do it. Because one of the things they want us to do is to spoil our ballot. So teach them how we know how to make an X by the shoe. So take your time, look between the two lines, and make your nice little X by the shoe. Close it and go at your home and let us wait for the victory. Because we know it is certain. So Honorable Vincent Desson, I want to say to you, you have my full support, undivided support. You have it from now until the next general election, once it is by God's will and by the grace of God. Labour!
He shall not be